Okay, well, we are live. Hopefully, people can hear us and see us. And we are back with another BX Dungeons and Dragons game. Anyone out in chat, let us know how our levels are. Playing tonight, Bill, what character you got going?
Well, I am playing Radnor the Large. He is a 7th level magic user. He is large, and at the moment, he only has 7 out of his 17 hit points.
A minor inconvenience at best.
Minor inconvenience.
All right, Richard.
Hi, I'm Richard, and I am playing Fig Jam, who is also a 7th level magic user. He is not large, and he only has 29 out of his 29 hit points.
Also, not a problem. Jeff, back again.
Yeah, hi. So I'm playing Darby of Stonehill. He's a dwarf, 7th level dwarf. He is small and well, he has a lot of hit points.
Which might be a problem.
Yeah.
And Jameis.
I'm playing Galen Rayhorn, who is not 7th level, nor a magic user, nor an dwarf. Nor do I have my full hit points either. I'm a
All
6th
right.
level priest. Priest.
All right, so last game, you guys finally cleared the dungeon, and you find that this was a pyramid built upon another pyramid that's mostly submerged, and a strange floating garden, wherein you find the spirit, well, a hawk headed spirit, potentially an avatar of another god, not the same one that was in the desecrated temple above. And well, you guys kind of submitted to a test of character. You are characters, but do you have character? That's really the question. It's really the question. Let's get this thing kicked off here with Darby making a save versus spell, please.
The
Welcome
only winning
back.
move is not to play, and I think Darby's
Name is
only
hard.
instead.
Uh,
I know he's a
yeah,
dwarf.
come
Now
to
he's got tons of
come.
saves.
Saves.
You had to put him under advantage. Yeah,
He succeeds.
Success.
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Well, you guys had a little sequence, sort of dreamlike, sort of not, as you had all of your physical abilities, everything that you had on you. Those of you that are magically active felt like you could indeed cast spells if you wanted to. That resolved, and you guys have this kind of fade moment where you just kind of lose consciousness for a moment, and mists kind of envelop your sight, and when you open them, there's another scene in front of you. You are on a hilled plain. Sun is high in the sky. It's the weird hollow earth sun, though, with all the revolving land masses around it. And the scene is one of this is farmland, rich, beautiful farmland. Unfortunately, the crops that are growing here are stunted and wilted. They look diseased. They look unusable. And there's an old man here, dejectedly sitting on a stump, hat off in the hot sun, just kind of looking dejectedly at his crops. And this is the scene that you kind of, everything just kind of clears, the fog lifts, and this is what you see. You're
Now
still
we did
you. You
have
still
that.
have all the things that are on you.
We had that guy that we helped free. Has he disappeared?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. Hello there, good farmer. What ails thee? Sort straight to high fantasy talk.
Yeah. He stares at you for a moment, fully comprehending what you're saying, and he kind of takes his hat and he kind of gestures with it and says, "Do you not see the ruin? The ruin of my village. We'll not have food for the larders this year. We'll not have food for our children."
Is there a cause of this, or is it just a bad year of summer? Or is there also a more direct cause of it than just weather? Or
Something in the soil. As the crops grew, stunted, befouled. The land is clean. Perhaps the seeds were not.
Mind if we have a look? Well, we have a couple of very intelligent people with us who might be able to do something about this. He's not meaning himself.
Well, I mean, you are kind of a rangery person. I mean, if you want to take a look at the crops, you can make an intelligence roll. Same thing with Fig
I'm
Jam.
just thinking, I don't really know a lot about crops,
Yeah.
but these other two are pretty big magic. They're highly intelligent people.
Fig Jam's
Fig
also
Jam's
kind of a
especially
nature
intelligent.
person. Radnar
Yeah.
might have studied something about crops in a book, or he might have just fallen asleep during that course. That's up to
One thing
Radnar.
also, maybe one of you could look with some more ridiculous site and see if there's something else actively going on here that we
I
can't
might-
tell.
I might have studied it. Oh shit. Maybe like intelligence check or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. If you think you
Oh,
might have
goodness.
studied something on crops, go ahead.
Hey, it has to do with food. And
Yeah, that's true. It
well
has to do with
versed in
food. So Fig Jam and Galen both have very reasonable expectations as to why they might know something. So you guys can roll 2 just intelligence checks.
I mean, I can tell you which crops are good to sleep on, but that's about it.
All right, fair enough.
I succeed. That's as
Um,
much as I'm going to give.
yeah. Low success. Radnar made a slightly better one. You don't think it has anything like the soil actually does seem to be rich. You don't see an overabundance of insects. Radnar, though, you notice the waters that are nearby. You see the discoloration of the bank. Apparently, this was a drought year. The crops just didn't get enough water. Baked in the fields, grew poorly.
I mean, I've just got to wonder why, like, isn't it kind of strange that there's a dude like here in the Hollow Earth just hanging out, growing crops in the middle of some deadly dungeon that almost killed us?
Eh,
That seems a little bit strange to me. I'm just
Well, to
saying.
be fair, I mean, you chose to enter the deadly dungeon that was a temple. You were warned that it was a deadly dungeon.
But if I was a farmer, I wouldn't be like, where should I grow my crops? I know.
does it look like we're in a
No,
dungeon
no,
at the
you
moment?
this you can
We're
feel.
outside.
Yeah, you can
As far
feel
as
the
outside.
fresh air. You can see the sun. There's a singular point in the middle of these rotating land masses.
I'm sorry, is something magic going on here? I asked the other two. We'll ignore SC, he's sitting off somewhere.
We know that we're testing,
Yeah.
right? We're in a testing a testy.
Yep.
Right, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I am not turning on. Look, if I turn on my magical sight, I assume to be blinded by all of the magic that is. You know,
Roll again,
Thinking
seizure.
There might be a more localized effective magic happening that you can tell. I don't know. It might say magically affecting this place. You know, apparently, according to Radnor there, it's just bad drought. I mean, we can have a look and see. We can try and go upstream and see if there's anything in particular there that's causing.
I'm trying to remember what the test things were. I mean, if we help this
Strength,
person, are
bravery,
we?
all that sort
Are
of
we
stuff, cunning. I don't remember what the various tests are.
yeah, exactly. I
You
wish I
guys
had-
figured out that it was. Excuse me for a moment.
Our
No,
team is
what
dying.
you gonna do now? I refuse to excuse you for a moment. What now?
Hey, you take
I
over
spit
GM,
water
so-
on the screen. That's what happens.
Right.
Right. So you know this is a test of the virtues that this particular god holds.
Yep.
As his tenants. At least 2 of you rolled well enough to remember what the virtues were.
I can't remember what we.
It's just
I
up to
was
you
gonna
to
say, I
figure
haven't
out which
noted those
virtue
down,
it
I'm
is you're
really
supposed to be showing here is,
What were
is
the
the trick.
What were the 4 virtues? I know we know there's 4 of them. What were those? What were they as well? I can't remember exactly what the virtues are. And basically, I'm just going with be a good person all
So
around.
courage is the one that you just finished. At least you're pretty sure
Oh, okay.
that was courage.
Okay.
The other ones are, let's see, since you would know them, compassion, charity.
Donate.
Is there another one beginning with C?
Yeah, there is. I'm sorry.
No,
Yes,
that's
C.
good. I was just wondering if they were all. Because I wasn't sure whether we were trying to show those virtues or the corrupted virtues.
Yeah,
from the
that
other
you weren't sure because the
We
reed scrolls
have
you
the
found.
suspicion that the corrupted god has corrupted the scrolls to be the corrupted version, and we're trying to demonstrate to the good god here that we are in fact good people, and so we want to do the pure version. We suspect. And frankly, I'm not going to go around corrupting things unless someone starts attacking them. I'm going to go about slaughtering people.
Fine.
I wait to do that on a completely different day. Today's not the day of slaughtering people. That's some other day. I won't say, won't go around slaughtering people because we are PCs, but
Murder hobo PCs.
we're hobos. Yep.
Yeah, there's that. There is that.
Hey, I was in a game last week where we completely failed to murder a creature just because it was sitting there, and it was in fact turned out to be the thing that was keeping the dungeon under control. So good for us, really.
You did not murder. That's what you should have murdered.
Yeah, if we had murdered it, every single thing would have undead risen up and attacked us. So I was like, oh, this is what we did on them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you guys offer to investigate the banks. What were you going to do, or what do you tell them?
Yeah, well, I was sort of wondering if there was something magical here, but if apparently Fig Jam's too scared.
I don't want to burn out my eyes. I already looked at the sun last time when we were outside of this temple and couldn't see for a long while. I don't want to do it again.
So he's too scared. So yeah, we can try looking at the bank and see if there's something. You know, I have one or two other ideas, but if there's something we can do to, I can do a very temporary, short-term solution,
Yeah, I'm
and it's
not sure
very
how
limited.
solving their
But-
problem shows compassion or charity or the other one.
Well, charity would be giving them our food.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do we have any food? I pat my pockets.
I've got something I can do in a very limited way towards that. But
Yeah.
if we can get a longer-term solution of here's your water back, that's at least better than what.
I don't know that that's compassion or charity.
Well, it might be the other one.
Which the GM is having a hard time finding as well. But
Is it course correcting
Yeah,
the flow of the river? Was that the other value?
it's conjugation. You have to.
Can we talk to this guy yet?
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be
yeah.
responding to what you're saying.
Yeah. That's controlling the water flow for irrigation. Yeah, he's there. He's talking to Norcross.
No.
And I'm
Thank you
still
very much.
watching.
As far as you can tell, your friends are just quietly sleeping.
Okay.
The hawk-headed spirit is just staring you down.
Okay.
Let us know if you decide to attack him.
No threats.
Nope, just staring at you.
Okay.
Redna, were you saying something?
I was just gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hey, man, how's it going?"
He looked at you. It's terrible. It's going terrible. My village will die. There's no food for the winter. There's no food for the stores.
Ah, well then we should figure out how to get some food.
The crops, there's nothing here we're salvaging. There's nothing to save. There's no time to grow. We must purchase our food from other villages, but we have no wealth.
Oh, that's easily done.
Yeah, that's easy to deal with. Do you know where to go to purchase the food?
Yes, there's another city miles from here, but they have
Ooh.
grain aplenty.
We can't use gold coin.
Perhaps.
We
What
don't
do you
know
use for
that.
currency is the correct question at this point.
Because what do
Because
you
if we
use?
start doing gold coins and it's like, okay, now just purchase our souls, that's not going to go down too well.
Not if we're just giving it to
Here's some gold or purchasing all of your souls. Now all of you just go and die somewhere. I've bought you, I'm done.
I mean, if if we just give it to them to say, here, we are generously giving you this stuff, that doesn't mean we're not
We
purchasing.
tried to do that with. We tried to do that before, and they still read it as us trying to purchase their souls.
Because we couldn't communicate with them.
Even
We
if
were just
could,
saying,
they
hey,
didn't.
here is stuff.
Okay.
But it
you
doesn't
wanna do
matter.
that?
It's-
I'm going to go somewhere and contemplate. No, I can't even. No, damn it, I'm not full health. I can't do that. Damn it. No, okay, yeah. What currency do you take?
We trade in the usual silver, copper, bronze, jade. He's kind of looking at you guys. I mean, you've only got what what you have on your packs.
Oh.
Right?
Here you go.
Do you
I
remember how
thought
much
I'd
money I
throw
carry around with me? And June and stuff.
I think I might have this. I don't know. Here, have part of the jade statue that we smashed on the nose from last. Here you
Yeah,
go.
that's a significant hunk of jade, actually.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
buy stuff with that now? I'm not doing anything with it.
Oh,
You
that's
can buy the whole village.
that's a start. Yes, I mean it'll get us something.
A start? Ah, give it back. Ah,
Perhaps, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could, guys could go on a diet or something. I know I'm not one to talk, but
The fat man telling the skinny villager that he should go on a diet.
I did think of the
Awesome.
irony as I said that.
Oh, so you're part of the clergy. I see.
No, not so much the clergy as much as magicians.
So what are you guys doing? Big Jam, do you demand your jade back?
I took it back, and then I'll just go, and throw it at him again anyway. No, alright, you keep it. I don't need it.
If you give me 8 hours to rest, I can do something minimal, but
Has anybody else got any jade they're hiding anywhere? No?
I've got lots of money, as in I've got in various gems and stuff, but I never really specifically broke it down into silver and copper and stuff.
Yeah,
Mostly
so,
it's gold coins.
So what do you do, Radnar? Galen, so like this guy is he's got the hunk of jade from Fig Jam, and he's like, well, thank you very much. This will allow us
Yeah, I
to
can-
live a few months anyway.
I could sit down and smoke with this guy, and that might help him feel a little better. But I don't think that would solve his problem.
Maybe there is a spell.
The only spell I could
Could help.
use is fireball, and I don't think that'll help.
Yeah, I have purify food and water, but that's a limited thing.
Well,
That's
what
not
if?
gonna be-
What is it that's? Do you know what it is that's destroying your crops?
Like
You
before.
know what it is. Like you figured it out. They just had a really bad drought, very bad drought this year.
Wow, if only we had create water. Of course, I don't know how much water that would create. I don't think that would
Not a
create
lot.
enough to feed like a whole village.
Not for long either. It doesn't create water. Is not a great. It's not intended to be a village saving spell.
We could lead them all to the surface.
No,
We
we
don't know how
couldn't.
to
We're
get to the
inside the testing place. There's nothing. It's not real.
Well,
create water
then
is
do
a
our
full-
solutions have to be real?
If you guys are like all speaking in front of this guy, he's looking wide-eyed as if you were all possessed. He's taking a step or two back away from you. He's
I
certainly
can't create
reacting like you would expect.
I can create water.
Water.
Enough to sustain 12 humans for 12 mounts for 1 day. So it's not.
Water we have. I mean, the rivers
If you
are
had water, then how did you drought
the
the?
rivers are shallow this year, but there's enough water to get us through. In the winter, we can melt the snow.
Is there someone around here who is very wealthy and refusing to give up all their wealth that you could use to keep yourself
They're
alive?
called PCs.
I've given my wealth. What else do you want?
We're. Only there was someone we could intimidate or murder.
I will
Is
fix
there-
your problems by murdering something. Just point me to what needs to be murdered.
I I'll do this. We'll just do this the easy way. I have, as I said, I do carry a lot of money with me. Okay, and gems and coins and shit.
Okay. So what do you?
I'm going to give him, because I can't be bothered working out thing,
Yeah.
700 GPs worth of this shit.
Okay. Sans like it's not actual gold, just everything except for actual gold.
Well, there's gold in there as well.
Oh, there is gold in there as well.
If he doesn't
Alright.
take, if he doesn't take the gold, it's going to be less. But we never
Yeah.
worked out what the
Yeah, that's
ratios
fine.
and stuff were. So.
That's fine. So you basically just unload your coins and gems and stuff on him.
I'm
It's just
keeping
like,
a very minimal amount, but
Yeah.
otherwise,
yeah, it's like, what? That's amazing. That's so amazing. He looks over at you, Radnar.
Oh, so this is one of those. Everybody needs to prove that they are generous or courageous or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Or currency.
Courageous.
That might have been the C. Currency.
It is a guiding attribute of this god. Currency, hard cash.
It could be. So yeah, what have you got that you can give up to show you're compassionate or charity or generous or whatever
yeah,
it
I
is?
don't know what a C has. I don't have his character sheet, so I have no idea what it's got.
I mean, we'd ransack the C's pockets and just give whatever is in there to the people so they can proceed.
That could
Callousness.
just
That's a
change
good
the
C
guy into a
word.
donkey or something. I don't know. I mean, I'd love for there to be a way for me to apply polymorph color to this situation.
I turn you into a large bit of something that your village could eat.
One
Wait
less
a minute.
mouth to feed and more food, yeah.
What's polymorph? Where's polymorph other?
All right, Radnar. So you don't really respond to anything. It's all right if you don't. I'm just trying to figure out what your character's doing.
No, we're now I'm speaking to him in a different language than we're using to talk, right?
No, he seems to understand
No.
everything
Oh,
you
he
say.
seems to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. No, we really want to help, sir. We're discussing the best way to help you. I know it seems confusing, but that's what we do. We solve problems,
All right.
especially if there's something we can solve with violence.
If someone's having trouble going to the toilet, you can give them just pepper bells.
I had thought of that, but I just didn't think this guy would enjoy that if I just don't like, hey, what about this? I don't think that would help. I'm just guessing. Of course. And I kind of huddle in with the guys here. It's like, I could use charm person.
But that doesn't help. That doesn't show that you understand the test.
But he wouldn't know that. I mean, what
But
is
the god
test?
who is testing you would.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that.
I mean,
Maybe this guy is the god. He's just
I
pretending.
know
like-
what you can
Oh,
give
maybe.
him if you're so looking for little things that you're obviously not going to miss. Actually, no, that's rubbish. That's complete rubbish. The idea I had. Don't worry
it's better than any other idea we've got.
about it. No, it's complete rubbish idea I had. Trust me.
All right, well, there we go then.
It's not something they need in any way, shape, or form. I was thinking, give them your continual light locker, but they don't need continual light. They have continual light. It's the sun that's in the middle of the damn sky.
Yeah. No, no, no.
So, they could at least see what they're doing at night and stuff, but I don't know if they even have night here. Do they have night here, Bert? I don't think so, do they?
They have night? Yes, they do.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
you haven't seen it yet, but you've been told that there is such a thing.
Yeah. I mean, if they're trying to do something, if they're trying to sort of just continue to move at night and stuff, you at least give them your locket of continual light, so then they can see what the hell they're doing in the middle of the night.
All right.
Be
Well, it
better.
sounds like you're you're kind of stalled thinking for a bit. So what happens is,
Two of us
from
move on.
one moment to the next, the mist comes up, and you're standing next to a river, a stream, on a grassy hill, and there is a woman dressed in the same Askin style, just weeping uncontrollably at the banks. It looks like she's about to hurl herself in.
None of us have charm.
Why are you contaminating the water supply? Wasn't that the problem?
I do
Says
have,
the lady.
I do have charm, person.
Okay. Well, what do you want to do?
No. None of us
Responding
are
to
charming.
Fig Jam, she turns and says, yes, you're right. I'm nothing but a pollutant. I'll befoul these waters, but still, this life must end.
Why? Why is it so bad?
I've disgraced my village.
Ow.
How did you do that? Yeah. You like take a shit in the middle of the town or something?
In the middle of the well. That's, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Maybe go somewhere else.
how? I'm sure nothing you have done has been so horrible that they can't forgive you for it because, you know, people are compassionate.
No one is so far in the darkness that they cannot find the light.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh,
go ahead and both of you guys give me charisma rolls. It's just, despite
I
how
don't say
snide those lines are rolling off, we'll see if your characters are smoother than
mean-
that.
I'm doing that because I have
I'm pretty
crappy
smooth.
charisma. So yeah,
Which makes
Actually,
complete
pretty good
sense.
charisma.
failure. Yeah.
Bill,
Got it.
you got it?
Yeah.
You sure did. All right. So she kind of turns away from Fig Jam, looks at Radnar and says, years ago, my husband died in a bad farming accident, and as the tradition of my people, I to stay widowed for the rest of my days, yet I met someone.
That's not a bad thing. Your husband would want you to be happy, right?
No, the traditions of my people say that I must stay widowed.
And?
Traditions can change.
I don't see what widow has to do with being with someone that you love.
The only way to stop this is to end my life here, so I do not bring shame upon my village. My acts have already brought shame to me, but
I mean,
can
that's
stop
not
it here.
true. That's not true at all. You could kill the other person.
I like how he's thinking.
That's a solution.
He is wise and powerful. Listen to him.
Wow.
all right,
Charisma
we're gonna
7,
fade
man.
for a moment as we see Darby. Your friends are having, they're tossing and turning a bit in their sleep, mumbling. Right, you're pretty sure you hear Radnar. Just point me at who I gotta kill. Mumbling in the background. The hawk-headed spirit stares at you, and little wisps of energy come from his fingers, and they surround the forms of your friends, and it looks like he's draining them, like energy is coming off of them and filling him.
Ooh.
He says, "Your friends are failures. They are similar to those that came before. They do not treasure the values." What do you do, Darby?
Oh, I'll try to wake my friends.
All right,
Hey,
yeah.
hey.
Roll for initiative.
Oh,
Ooh. You got it.
Jesus.
If you've got a dex bonus, add it to it.
No, I don't. Oh.
All right.
Only one.
So you charge towards one of your friends, and he just makes kind of a backhanded gesture with one of his taloned hands. Take 7 points of damage as you feel like just bits of your life essence is being sucked out of you. You feel like you're aging, like for a dwarf, that's pretty phenomenal. Do you feel like, decades have passed in your life?
Ooh.
You fall to your knees a little bit, but you struggle forward. What's your action? Your turn.
I'll try to wake Radnar.
Okay.
Hey, Radnar. You're being drained. Wake up.
This one
So
fails.
I shake him and
So yeah, you start shaking him, and the spirit speaks. This one fails to show compassion, fails to show consideration, fails to help his brothers. Why would you save this one? He's nothing. And the flesh starts to strip from Radnar's body and starts to be pulled into the spirit. What do you do?
well, also, can I strike at this? What is? How tall is he? Is he?
It's human sized. Yeah,
Oh.
he's a little ephemeral, like you can see through him. He's not like he's all there.
Nah. Okay. I'll strike at him with my sword.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Wow, nice hit. You return the damage. Yeah, I mean, your weapon seems to pass through him, but it howls in pain. It points at Fig Jam. This one is just a miserable being. Again, he makes this kind of twist with his hand, and this flesh starts to strip off of Fig Jam. What do you do?
Ooh. And Ragnar did not wake up. No.
No, he's still fast asleep.
And okay. Well, I'll strike another
Sure, yeah.
time with my sword. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. You slide and miss, and he said, and again, the spirit speaks and says, "These are not worth saving. They do not value life. They do not value anything but themselves. You would waste yourself for these?" And it comes at you with clawed hands. What's your AC?
It's 1.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Oh yeah.
All right, take 8 points of damage.
Down to 21.
Yeah, it's clawed, bird-like fingers just tears into your chest, stripping off flesh. Blood goes everywhere. Yield now.
What about Galen?
Yeah, Galen looks like he's fading too. Like his elven features look like they're aging in front of you.
Oh. Well, does that? I don't think I can do anything right now.
Yeah,
Right.
so
I think.
What do you do?
I think it's a test. Oh. I'll try to buy some some compassion from him. I have a gem. It seems to be worth 1,000 gold pieces.
You want to buy the lives of your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that a significant portion of the wealth that you have?
I think so.
And you're a dwarf, right?
Yeah, it's actually 8 gems.
All right.
So
So it says, so there's a limit. You won't die for your friends, but you'll purchase their lives?
Yes, it's beautiful gems. They're worth much gold pieces.
Maybe a charisma check.
Okay. I have an 11. 12. Roll a 12.
Good failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the door behind you bursts open, and he points to the door and says, "Flee! You have no right here. You don't have the power to save your friends. You are nothing."
Well, I won't flee. I said that I protect them. I will protect them.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
I'll
yeah.
stand
So
and-
you stand. He stares you down for a bit. The rest of you guys, same thing happens. Mist swirls. You're basically doing a really bad job at talking this woman down. But yeah, you come awake. You're all perfectly fine. You're back in your bodies. That jade hunk is still in your pouch, Fig Jam. Anything that you would have expended during this is still there. Darby, you see them rouse and they look perfectly fine. Your wounds, however, are real. They're
Oh.
very real.
Wow. But whew, oh, you're alive.
So
It seems that you've been drained.
the image kind of turns to face you all and says, "You are." It kind of slumps a little bit, like it's disappointed. It's like, you are imperfect tools for Atzatotl, but perhaps you are all that we have to work with. And it kind of points at Darby. Your friend here was willing to die for you. Was willing to
Is what we did for
purchase
him.
you.
Oh, wow.
Would not flee when it made every sense to do so. Perhaps if your miserable worth is worth so much to him, perhaps you are usable tools. Like the spirit looks completely dejected. Like, is this the best I'm going to get?
We're the best of what's left.
We are the monsters you deserve.
We are within your price range.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So there's another ship, much like what transported you here in the first place, kind of comes up out of the ground and out of the plants, and is just kind of hovering there. And I don't know what those that came before have done, but they've upset a balance. I know where they've gone.
Useful.
I can
Yep.
influence nothing. This chamber, and he just kind of waves his hands around. This is all that I influence now.
It's a very nice place. Nice lovely garden.
I can cast you like a missile into the void and only hope that it pierces my foe.
You're not selling yourself on us trying to help you here. Look, we came down here because something is wrong and we wanted to help. And we are the help that you have here. And now you are saying, oh, you're useless at help. We didn't have to come here.
Yeah, I mean, you can work a little bit on your people skills there, dude.
Yeah. Where are you embodying all your values of charity and compassion and
Me?
everything
I am-
else?
Currency and
I am
course of
but
water and whatever the hell
yeah.
it was.
so I'm but a shadow. I am nothing.
So you expect us to live up to the lofty ideals that you are supposed to embody while you cannot embody them yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a god. He's a god, all right.
This is why. It's just a problem with deities. You see, expect too much from the people and they can't give it themselves.
Yeah, so when you guys are talking about deities like this, it actually, again, the form just kind of sinks down into the ground, just kind of takes a lotus position on the ground, and says, "There are no gods here. There are only shadows. The gods have gone from our world and from yours."
Really?
No, what gods?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, God.
So
Symbol
thinking
of
about
my
that,
religion.
Galen, you haven't actually cast a higher level cleric spell since you've been here.
I haven't tried to either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You haven't tried.
Yeah, because my highest level. No, I have. I have cast Cure Serious Wounds. I cast it on a C4.
Mm-hmm. What level was that? Yeah.
So that's the highest I've got.
Yeah, fair enough.
hmm.
I haven't cast Cure Disease because no one's been diseased, but if we ever get around to casting Remove Curse, that's also level 3. Assuming a C wants to be cured. I don't know.
What you're saying is that the people who came in here have disrupted the world down here and up there?
It starts here. The gods have all been distracted. A ploy? perhaps? Another god has used minions of his own to infect this place.
Okay.
Well, okay, but what does this place have to do with the outside place? Do we have to keep this place clean? So that the
He
other
just kind of
places
nods
don't-
slowly and says the magics that empower this place act as a barrier to your world. Once this fades, that barrier will be gone. It will be open to outside influences, things that will corrupt and destroy your world.
Alright, well then. Alright. Thanks for letting us know.
I missed most of that.
Don't worry. The world will be destroyed. That was pretty much the basics.
Meanwhile, we can read Radnar's mind, who's standing in the back just thinking, just point us at who we gotta kill!
Hey, we're good at that, okay? Like, just saying.
We're a very particular skill set.
Yes.
I mean, alright, let's. You know where they are. That is what you said, so.
Yes. I don't know what they have done, but I know where they've gone.
Alright, well, let's go kill them and see if we can find notes on their body which tell us how to undo this thing that they have done. Or, you know, charm them with our great charm so that they tell us what they have done. Hey, we're here to join your cause or something.
Now, this boat, unlike the small canoe that brought you here, does have enough seating for everybody.
Right.
Oh, well then. I guess are we all okay?
Forward Redwood.
Yeah.
You all climb aboard?
Mm.
All right. So the boat, once everyone is aboard, rises into the air and hurls itself at like the cavern wall, which starts collapsing around it, creating a pocket as you're moving through. Feels like miles of earth at the speed that it's hurling. Inside the canoe, in the bottom of the canoe, there are packages. There are wrapped bits of cloth.
I guess these are for us to open and look at. And is there enough for one each? Is it like they're portioned out specifically for?
No, it's just there's wrapped items on the floor of the canoe.
Are they different items or is it all pretty much just the same package?
Yeah, it's kind of all just got a cloth covering it all. If you throw it back, it's just a conglomeration of odd things. Like there is a ceremonial mask for each of you. It's like a wood carved mask that's got like demonic kind of painting and teeth and such on the outside. There is a black disc of a mirror. Who picks that up?
A C does.
No.
No.
There's a leading question from the GM.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll pick.
All right, Darby.
Pick it.
Make me an intelligence check.
So good. Hey, success.
Okay. As you pick it up, or as you start to pick it up, you notice how very thin it is. So you handle it very carefully. And it's a good thing you do. The edges are just incredibly, frighteningly sharp. Like when you turn the disc on the edge, it's so thin that it just disappears to your sight. You're pretty sure that it's made out of obsidian, like the surface when you turn it so that you can see a flat end. Perfectly smooth, jet black.
Okay, look at that. I should
Yeah,
just do-
you turn it to the side, it just completely disappears. It's so thin. A jade shield with a hawk's head emblem.
I've got a shield already.
I think that's yours. You're the one who uses shields there, Darby, aren't you?
Well, how big
Would
is
you-
it?
It's a medium shield. I mean, so
And
anyone.
I'm
can use
currently
it.
using a shield at
Yeah.
the moment. I have a shield. So.
Oh, who picks it up? The other item there is a jade medallion. It's got a hawk's emblem on it as well,
I'll pick it
and
up.
you have to search for it a bit. And you notice when you like move the cloth aside that there's like a little pocket that seems to be heavy, and there's a jade ring inside that pocket. So we've got a jade ring, a jade medallion, a jade shield, a face mask for everybody, and this very thin obsidian mirror.
Can I, as such, holster my shield and pick this one up? As use that?
Yeah.
Compare.
Feels good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go. Yeah,
Well, if you
I'll
grab
shield.
it, it functions as a shield +2, just for no
Exactly the
keeping.
same as my
Yeah.
current shield.
It's also makes you armor class 0 against all weapons made of obsidian. That may come in handy.
That's cool. Oh, Mac is just 2-star then. Oh, that's increasing my armor class against obsidian then.
Yep. Who picks up the ring? Who finds it in the fold of cloth as you're moving things aside?
Pick up the ring.
Who is that? Radnar?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you currently wearing any other rings, magical ones?
Let me see.
I think he is.
I think I am actually. I am wearing 2 other rings. I'm wearing a ring of magic missiles and another ring of actually I'm wearing a couple of different rings. I'm wearing 3 rings of spell storing that each have a fireball in them. I'm ready to go, man.
All right. Well, this ring, it'll just function. It's a ring of protection +1, so it improves your armor class by 1, but it's also a ring of protection against fire.
Oh, nice. Double
Yeah,
whammy.
because you need another one of those.
I'm double protected against fire.
Yeah. Leaving the medallion. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well. Nah. I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Wear it.
Yeah, it's also got a
mask.
hawk's emblem on it. It's jade, like most of these items are made out of. So just bookkeeping purposes, it allows the wearer, anyone physically touching you, to breathe underwater.
Oh, wow, there we go.
Yep. You'll be able to figure this out through the journey, which is going to take a while anyway. So
How long of a while are we talking?
yeah,
long
so
ways?
after your boat kind of tunnels its way through what feels like miles of rock, you eventually hit water, and so like you create this plug in the earth where the water just starts flowing around you, and again the boat seems to be enwrapped in some kind of bubble that's keeping you protected, and it seems like you're deep underwater before the boat finally breaches and you're airborne, and it picks up speed as you enter the air. It's night, but in the distance you see that the star that seems to be something is occluding the side of it. Like it looks like something is revolving around it, which is causing night and day. And the boat just picks up more and more speed as you're hurling straight towards that sun. Guys doing anything?
Screaming positions and scream.
All right. Well, if you're enjoying the ride, and it seems to get faster, and you guys are covering so much distance, you get to the point where the land is so far below you, it just becomes another one of the islands lost in the islands that are kind of rotating around. It's becoming harder and harder to breathe. Seems like there's less and less air the further you get from land.
Yay. I'll try one of the masks, actually. There's no reason to try it, but all of a sudden.
You put the mask on and you breathe just fine.
Yeah. There's no reason for actually to really make that stretch, but all of a sudden.
Let's do the same.
With a thumbs up mask on, thumbs up. You know. Hey, hey.
Yep. Okay. Again, you continue to hurl, closer and closer to this flaming ball of gas in the sky. It seems like, you know, minutes, half hour, hour goes by, and that blazing ball of the sky just gets brighter and brighter. And as you continue to pass closer to it, you can kind of make it out. It looks like it's some kind of skin that surrounds the sun itself. Looks like it is something much smaller in the middle. It's just giving out a blinding amount of light, and it has this skin around it that gives it the impression of being like a round sun. It's most definitely a created or a crafted item. It's enormous as you're heading towards it. You don't feel though that it's not getting any hotter. Like so, it's not like you're heading towards a real sun, right? So temperature isn't getting hotter. You don't feel like you're about to boil alive or anything, other than the
We
fact that
wouldn't
it's
know
harder
that
to
anyway.
breathe.
As far as we're concerned, if we go up in the year, it gets colder. We get closer to the sun, it's colder. Our wings don't melt.
As far as you know, right?
Uh,
And then as you're going, you continue on faster and faster. Everybody, make me a D6 roll.
Ready? 6. No, 2.
All right.
Down to
Good
six.
one.
Yeah, so those are the rolled twos. You're passing close to this piece of black that is causing like night and day below you, and it looks like it's a giant curved piece of obsidian. It's blocking the light in certain areas so that it's creating like a day and night cycle. But as you're seeing this immense piece of obsidian kind of float close by as you're jetting past it, you also see there's a little distortion on the air. And I'm going to say, Darby, even though you rolled a 6, having just picked up that obsidian mirror, you pass something that is enormous that has very much the same thing. You are heading towards it edge on. But then as your ship passes over the top, you see that it's a black plane. And it just goes on for miles and miles. And so it's leveled such that as you're approaching it again, you're gumming at it right on edge, and then you float above it and you're able to see down. So that's just this black featureless plane, and all of you get the feeling that this isn't right. There's something about it that it does not belong. And of course, that's where your ship lands.
yeah, pity just didn't keep on going, just ran through.
Yep. It kind of hits it and kind of just skids. You get the idea that the surface has got very little friction as your boat just continues to. It's made ground, but it continues to just keep going for quite a while before it slows down.
Fortunately, I'm a very graceful elf. I can stand on frictional surfaces. He says with a Dex 10, knowing he's going to trip over.
Nice landing.
Any landing you can walk away from is one that's kind of weird to us because we don't usually fly that much in ships.
So yeah, the boat comes to a stop, skidding across this just featureless surface.
Look around, see if there's any sign of where to go.
You gotta be around here somewhere.
Yeah, I
This
mean
is
you
where
don't see any
it's
kind
us.
of terrain. You don't see any kind of features. It's just a flat black plain.
Oh, I mean, let's step out of the boat then.
Okay. Make me a dex check, Fig Jam.
You knew this was coming.
No, I didn't. It could have been anything. It could have been a constitution check to not cut your feet. I fail.
All right.
Yeah, dexterous though.
You kind of hop out, just expecting to land easily below you, but you're just a little too vigorous, and instead of hopping out of the boat onto the ground, you push yourself into the air and you float for a bit before you start to come back down.
Help! Help! Help!
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Okay, I gracefully step out onto the
Yeah, after seeing what happened to Fig Jam, if you're slower and more particular about it, you can control your motions enough that you're not going to send yourself flying. But yeah, gravity is definitely less.
Somebody's cast a low-level flying spell around here. This isn't great.
One thing I want to try. I heard this from some elves really up north. Put my ear to the ground and sort of see if I can sense any vibration from a particular area.
Oh my gosh. You put your ear to the ground, and as you get closer to the ground, it's almost like a pane of glass that's been colored or smoke colored. So like as you get closer to it, it becomes more transparent, and like you see through it, and you're looking down at what appears to be a large insect, as if you were looking on it, like so you're seeing the bottom of its belly and its legs as it skitters across the underside of this flat plane.
The hell?
Oh.
Yeah, so it kind of startles you before you actually get your ear down to it.
Yeah.
But this close, like looking through it, you can actually see like there's on the other side of this disc, there are features. There are mountains. There are landmarks. You see a lot of these bugs kind of going off in very straight lines.
Okay, but I can't. When I do wish to put my ear to it, I can't sense any vibrations, or can I just
If you put your ear to it, no, you do. Like you hear,
skittering there?
yeah, skittering sounds. You hear the sounds of creatures, almost like you were in a woodland.
Oh, well, I like woodlands.
Okay.
Hey guys, this is really weird. When you get close to it, you can actually see through it, and there's something on the other side.
We could try to cut a part with this obsidian disc.
Okay. So as you do that, you look at the disc, and you actually look through your disc, which allows you to look through the ground beneath you very clearly. And so it's like you've just made an opening, like a window that you can move around within the confines of this disc that you're holding. It allows you to see right through it. And yeah, you see these insects that he's talking about. You see a whole land beneath on the other side. If you turn it on edge and try to cut the surface, though, it's just like glass. There's nothing there for it to get purchase on. Even as incredibly thin as this is, it just kind of skitters. It just doesn't catch anything.
Okay.
Perhaps you could use. Oh yeah.
But we will be able to travel and, well, try to find.
Reconnoiter the place and try and find somewhere interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fig Jam, Radnar, what are you guys doing?
I'm thinking.
Big Jim's bouncing all over the place. Boing, boing,
Yeah,
boing,
I'm thinking
boing.
if I can jump high enough, can I see further? I guess it's a flat plane, so I don't need to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
like you
enjoying
can
the low
see.
gravity.
What was that, Rednall?
I said I'm enjoying the low gravity.
Yeah, it's like for once your back isn't giving you problems. It's like, oh yeah.
So
Do you want to launch yourself up, Fig Jam? Take a good look around.
I don't need to though, because I can see forever because it's flat.
Would you think of that though?
Yep.
Would you go? Or you might still want to go by sort of natural instinct to try and jump and see.
Well,
No.
Okay.
That's
So-
No, you're okay.
Well,
But-
I don't want to go up.
I don't have a
Well,
rope anymore.
Thinking of that though, you can in fact see across the whole plane as there's no curvature and there's nothing in its way, just completely featureless.
Yeah.
But what you do see is that there is a defined edge.
Well, maybe we need to be on the bottom then.
Maybe.
I mean, if this is where they need to be,
Yeah.
or this is where they are, I don't.
Uh, Okay, Darby, do you want to look around and see if you can find anything?
Yeah.
Try and get an idea of what this place looks like before we launch ourselves into it somehow.
Yeah. If we find a way, but yeah, check. I'll check what
Yeah, so like you
future
look through your
mountain.
lens,
Yeah.
which allows you to see through the other side. Roll me a d6.
Or two.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
One.
Nice.
So you catch a view just as it's happening. So again, think of it like this is the flat plane. You guys are on top of it. The bottom side is what's facing the rotating islands. Okay. Darby, what you see is somehow the mirror, the more attention that you bring to something, the more it kind of zooms in on it for you. There's a streak of light from one of those floating islands. And when you think to look, you look a little deeper and it kind of zooms in on the island. And you see a ceremony going on at the island where a native is being sacrificed on an altar. And there's this winged serpent that seems to be hovering above the ceremony in this kind of wispy, cloudy like form. As the villager is executed, it's like this bright pinpoint of energy streaks towards the underside of the disc. And when it hits the underside of the disc, all of you kind of feel the whole thing kind of just brightens for a moment. And you're all kind of standing around each other. And as it brightens, you're all moved apart a few feet from each other.
Now, I know what happened, but I don't think Galen would know what happened.
All right, so yeah, Jeff, Darby caught this right as this was happening.
There was a ceremony and a sacrifice. Do you see it?
No, you've got the thing.
I with my hand I touched the ground, the obsidian, the surface to see if
you
see my
can't.
hand
Yeah, you
pass
can't.
through,
So like if you're trying to put your hand through your lens, you hit something solid.
Okay.
So there's a sacrifice?
Yeah. There was this winged deity.
It sounds... What are you doing over there? Hello over there. Sounds like the sort of thing we should be stopping.
Did we feel a sense of movement
Yes.
to be pushed apart?
Yeah.
Or okay.
It felt like the ground itself moved and you were pushed apart because of that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll look again. At the same place.
At the same place?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's a slew of sacrifices or anything. It was just the one sacrifice. The shadow, the kind of outline of the winged serpent is gone.
Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking we need to be on the other side. So let's go for the edge and see if we can flip over to the other side.
I mean, I guess we did do that when we were coming down on the rope, didn't we? So it's not something we haven't done
So
before.
let's go. Yeah.
Are you going to carry the boat?
What?
I don't know if we need it to float to the other islands or not.
Let's worry about that afterwards.
Okay, fine. Let's work
We'll
for us
burn
now.
our bridges before we cross them. That's all right.
All right.
Exactly. So you're just going to pick a direction and walk till you hit the edge?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask Darby to sort of have a look out so we can keep an eye on what's going on around that, right? So that when we do pick our head over, we're not going to immediately bitten off by bugs or anything.
Okay. Roll me another d6, Darby. You don't really catch anything this time. You see more of these giant, bugs, like almost like cockroaches is what you're kind of thinking of. It is unusual, though, that they seem to have a very straight geometric lines that they're following when you catch them, though.
Are they going toward the same direction?
They're just kind of going in all directions, but they're always going very like a straight line. Like they don't seem to go back and forth or
I
shimmy. It's just a very straight line they seem to be
doubt we
following.
have enough of a sample size as such to use the modern terminology for it, but can we tell if they like if we sort of continue that line out and have this line that goes here, would it be drawing a particular symbol or something?
Uh, as you're saying, you've only seen a couple of these bugs so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all of a sudden thinking if they're sort of doing a ritual pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is anybody doing anything other than just going forward? You have this almost a bounce to your step as the gravity is much lighter. A good
When we
strong.
get to the edge, I'll have things to do. But
Right.
I mean, if we've got a bounce to our step, can I sort of lie down and then just propel myself along with my hands?
You can actually. It's like
And
really
would that be
smooth.
faster?
Indeed, it is.
Ah.
Just because you're able to concentrate your force in one direction instead of having to lift your legs. So Fig Jam lays on his body and does this penguin slide. Woo!
This is fun. You should try it.
Right. Make me a dex check.
Me?
Yep.
Why would I need to do a dex check? No.
I think of a reason.
No, you can't think of any reasons. Success.
Yeah,
Low
you're-
success.
you're fine.
Success.
Yeah, I mean, you probably enjoy the speed for a bit, but you figure out how to kind of stop yourself, and you're fine. You figure it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, stopping. I hadn't thought of that.
I did.
Yeah.
That's
While
what
the
I'm
surface
basing
is
on the
fairly
ground.
slick, I mean, there is some resistance. Like if you just dig the tips of your toes in, it eventually slows you down enough. Unless anyone else is doing this, Fig Jam is way ahead of you guys.
The best I can think of is sort of after I get a bit used to it, I would have experienced being the outdoor site, skating on as such,
Ice,
skating
yeah.
on ice.
Yeah.
So I'll probably start moving into that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, you just you pretend like you have blades on the
Blades.
bottom of your feet, and you just make the skating motions, and yeah, it works. You go skating ahead.
Hey, you guys, do it like this.
Radnor's doing the raw, and he's like kind of like floating. and-
He's doing the Hulk
Yeah.
leaps. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like. It'd be cool if he could do that Hulk thing where he just
Yep.
launches himself.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't know that I
can.
have the dex to do that though.
Well, you probably don't land well, but the gravity is light enough that it's no big deal. Like you launch yourself up and you just still slowly come down. So it's not,
Right.
you're having some fun with it. Everybody's, but eventually you guys come to the edge, and it's very abrupt, much like your mirror, Darby. The edge is like if you look, you hang your head over, you can't see this disc from the edge.
Okay, first test. See if there's anything rubbed like a light bit of cloth or something on the ridge to see if it just cuts through.
It does. It absolutely cuts right through it.
Right. Okay. If someone ties a rope around me to try and at least try and somewhat grab me back, I'll jump out and see if I can somehow just get myself over. Might be able to pull me back if I
All right.
leap too far.
Make me a dex check. You leap, holding the rope, and again you have this feeling of weightlessness as you go over the edge of the disc.
Hey,
And
1 point better than I did last time.
yeah, it continues to be weightless for a bit, and then you start falling slowly again, and it starts arcing under the disc. And as you arc under the disc, gravity becomes very normal, and you fall. The dex check, though, is you hit and you roll, and you're okay. So he just flung himself over the edge with a rope on. Gravity started to pull him back under, and then he fell to the bottom of the disc.
I expect the rope would have been cut at some point on the edge of the disc.
Nah, no, not with that dex roll. I mean, you launched far
Okay.
enough out that it just kind of arced. I mean, if
Okay,
you put
alright.
any pressure on it now, though, yeah, you'll slide it against the edge and cut it right off.
All right. Next. I wave at them, so
Yeah.
assuming Darby's.
So
might be
it
looking-
takes you
so
a
Darby actually
moment.
Looking sort of ways.
It takes your brain a moment to reorient to yourself, because you should be upside down considering how you just fell, but now you're standing. Gravity feels normal. You're right side up.
I've been to Australia. I know what it's like. To be
Actually, this effect is very similar to the effect you guys felt in that well at the beginning of all of this.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So this
Uh,
could be
and on
our
this
world
side-
intruder.
On this side, there is no disc. There is terrain. There are black mountains, hills, and valleys. You see skittering across the terrain of these large insects. You're seeing lots of them now, and they are in fact making a pattern. But what they're doing is they're tracing a grid, back and forth, right to left, up and down. They're just creating a grid.
Oh, New York, right. Oh, I'm at a side of the rest of them. It's up to them. I have it through the door, and as we'll see how long it takes the rest of them to do so.
Well, I tie a rope to myself and then give the rope to the next person, because I think this is the best way to make sure we all get across. If we don't chain ourselves together, but chain ourselves individually to another person,
This is gonna
and then
be
jump over
fun.
the side. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Fig Jam, you're relatively light. Go ahead and make me a dex check.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine.
Oh,
You
nice.
land fine. I mean, like you land rough, but you land fine. You don't hurt yourself.
Oof.
I might as well go next, and I'm going to be very happy that we got some re-rolls here.
All right.
Check. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it's Darby who's holding your rope. So-
Well, here we go.
I've also got my rope
Yep.
that is attached to him, so that I can pull him in on
Yeah,
this side.
that's true too.
I think I'll probably need a re-roll on that.
It's up to you. It's basically just 10 feet of falling damage, so it's just like 1d6, but you're hurt
I've
still.
got 7 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, reroll.
All right.
Or
here
just
we
spend
go.
4 to pass, either one.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm just it's
Yeah. So between Fig Jam hauling you in, and the trajectory you get from your leap, you land poorly, but you land fine.
I try to brush it off like I meant to do that, but it's not working at all. Yeah.
A C takes the jump, and he's over as well, leaving Darby the last one.
Yeah.
Come on, Darby. We got you.
I run and I jump.
Wah! Make me a dex roll.
Here it is. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
Reroll, or do you
Why?
want to just take the D6?
He like tripped as soon as he left the
Uh,
No, like he took a big running jump, and so that means that he's got further to fall.
We've got re-rolls fairly well stacked up. Take a re-roll.
okay.
You can re-roll or take 4 and succeed, whichever.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Again, you land hard, but you land just fine. So all of you guys, again, it takes your brain a moment to reorientate yourself. But now, other than the fact that everything is very dark looking, it looks like land. Like there's no semblance that you're on a disc. It looks like another one of those floating islands out there, just much smaller. And as you guys are
What's
looking
that
around,
sacrifice?
several of these pinpoints of light that you saw earlier, Darby, streak to the mountains and landscape around you and hit. And as they do so, all of you guys again feel this feeling of being pulled apart as the land beneath you shifts and moves.
Where are the pinpoints of light coming from? In particular, I'm wondering if it may not be, or we may not be able to see, but is it on like the intersection of?
Yeah,
points,
it looks
or-
like it's at the point of the grids that are being mapped out by these insects. So like at the intersection of the grids.
Right. Well, a couple of options. We destroy start killing insects. We try and trace down a pin to try and stop a sacrifice. What happens? We head for the center of the disc and see if there's anything there. We run away. Oh, yeah, there's always options.
Well, what happens if you use your mirrory disky thing to look through the other way now, Darby?
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
get it out.
All right, you do so, and it actually acts just like a mirror, so like you see your own face.
No.
Oh.
I thought we might have been on the right place, but on the wrong side of the disc. So we had to make our way back to the boat. And it was like, oh, they're right here. Because, yeah.
Still
Oh,
might be
alright.
the case. We just don't
It
know where
might
the
still
boat
be the
is.
case, yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't tell where the boat is anymore.
No. So yeah, we've got options. What do you think, Randall? Darby, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, let's go. So the bugs, the insects, they don't come from a place.
They're
Got it.
literally tracing a grid. They're going
Okay.
like east to west, north to south.
Okay.
So as you're watching them, you guys, and the grid is large enough that you're not in danger of being intersected by either bugs as they're doing this. Like you happen to have landed right in the middle of a square.
Is it a physical grid or is it just like a grid of?
No, I
visibility?
mean they don't leave behind a line if that's what you're asking. Although I mean, yeah, I guess they do because there is terrain and they've been doing this for a while. So I mean they've
Oh, yeah, but
they've
it's not like a
ran
magical
ruts.
so that we can cut is the main
Yeah.
measure, so, yeah.
there are ruts
Um,
in the ground where they've passed back
yeah.
and forth.
Other than that, yeah, unless we can try and trace down where the sacrifices are. Or... Where's the biggest tower?
Looking around, it looks again since you can kind of see where the edges of this area is. It's a fairly small island. I mean, it's maybe a mile or
Still
so.
big enough to be in there.
But dead center, there is a spire. There is something large in the very center of the disc.
Yeah. Yeah. We. Let's
We
go
go to the
there.
obvious point.
Yeah.
Had we not noticed that before?
I'm careful to make sure I don't bump into any insects as I cross their path. Because I don't want to
Yeah.
prematurely indicate where we are or start a fight along the way. We've got better things to worry about.
I don't suppose there are any bugs or beetles I would have seen before, are they?
They look very strange. No, it's not something that you're familiar with. I mean, they resemble some things that you're kind of familiar with. I mean, they look like odd cockroaches, like they have a hard shell exterior, more legs more like a centipede.
All right, not tasty, guys. Don't eat them.
You know,
Not
maybe cook 'em
poisonous
up a bit,
either, I
might be
don't think.
delicious.
Not poisonous, not venomous. I don't think.
I know if we get desperate, we might have to.
Uh,
All right, so
onwards.
you just want to start moving towards the middle. So you're at an edge, and you're going to work your way towards the middle. As you're getting in from the edge, you go from kind of like a rocky sort of terrain to like a vast field. And it's like the field has been sown or planted because you see these, again, ebon looking flowers just in these fields just all over the place. And you're kind of headed through them. They're about, they're a little less than a foot high. They're very dense. If you touch one, they're very rigid. They're very like almost metallic. Some of them are producing shiny black berries along the central stems.
Big jab, look at the bushes.
You want me to eat one?
I'm just wondering if you're going to do it anyway. Let alone what I want.
I mean, I would assume these are obsidian things. Well, okay, let's have a look and see if it is made of obsidian.
No, they seem to be harder than just obsidian, the glass rock that it's made out of. They seem like almost iron hard, and the central trunk is like a tube. It's like a hollow tube.
One thing I want to try is just sort of knocking a bit with my shield, brushing it with my shield.
Yeah, you can definitely deform and bash them.
Okay.
And when you do that,
Why would you do that?
there are several like thumb-sized bugs that start swarming out from underneath the plants that you've destroyed. Some of them run. Some of them get on your body and start making their way through your clothing onto your flesh.
That doesn't sound.
What do you do?
Maybe I can try and shake them off and try and brush them off.
All right. Yeah, dex check.
Okay. And button go off. Button. I have a button. Failure.
Okay. They've gotten underneath your small clothes or very close to your skin, and then they start biting. You got several on you. Take a combined total of 4 points of damage and make me a con
Ow.
check.
No. Okay. Oh, that's not good.
Okay. Con check is you feel like they're not just like stinging you, like they've latched on, and it feels like they're draining your blood, like they're leeches, and you feel like you're
Okay,
slowly getting a little weaker.
Going to use a reroll on that
Okay.
because it's above 10, so I've got a
Yep,
bit of
yep.
50-50 chance. Well, not a great success, but a success. In fact, it's the least most success you can have and still be called a success.
Okay, success. So you're not going to lose any con with the success, but you do feel them like they've leached onto you, and they're kind of like leeches. They're sucking your blood out slowly.
Yay! Favorite game. Slap a party member.
I know how to deal with real-world leeches, but these are not real-world leeches. As in, real-world leeches don't actually take that much blood, and in fact, if you try and rip them off before they're finished sucking, you're just going to rip half the living leech body off and leave behind. You just wait for them to feed, and then you can just pull them off after they're finished feeding. But
Yeah.
these are not real-world leeches. And in fact, it never works that way in D&D games anyway, so... Yep, it's fine for
Yeah.
bash the party member.
Slap, slap, slap.
Let's
I
Okay.
can
Yeah,
use
basically
a
you've
dagger.
got to unarmor, and you've got to like strip down to get them all off because they've really gone in underneath all your clothing. Yeah, so they leave behind like their teeth are circular, like lamprey like, and they've gotten little dime-sized bits of your flesh ripped off.
Ow. All right, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I'll try to remove one with the dagger.
Yeah, you guys get them off, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do get them. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just that's a matter of time and pain. And carefully making sure the clothing has not got any more trapped in and put them back on again afterwards. All right.
Yeah, so as your guys are doing this, behind you, you hear someone chuckle. You turn around, and it's another one of these like mostly see-through ethereal spirits. Darby, since you got to look through the obsidian disc and you zoomed in, this looks a lot like the young man that was just sacrificed that you saw.
Hey. Man, you're alive.
He looks down and like he's looking through his limbs. Afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I don't think I am.
What's this magic?
You guys that are looking at him, again, it's this misty kind of form, much like the god that you spoke to. You can mostly see through him, although this looks like a normal young man to you. His body though is streaked through with black lines that seem to be multiplying. Like his veins are like lit up with black, and they just seem to be spreading.
And he was speaking in like common or whatever.
You don't know. You just understood him. Like if you
Oh,
think
okay.
back, you don't think he actually moved his mouth.
Okay. You turning into a beetle?
I don't think so. He's looking at his, the black lines are coming through him. But I don't feel so good.
I'll give it a go. Turn undead.
Nice.
Talking here nicely.
Go ahead and make your roll.
One lower. I'll worry about that in a minute. 7.
It's not one lower. You don't feel that obstruction like you did before. It comes a little
Okay.
easier.
We are on the. I'm moving towards our own home plane with bloody disc.
However,
Level am I?
it doesn't seem to affect this spirit at all. Although the light does, highlight the fact that he seems to be being consumed from the inside out by these, there's this burst of your light from your goddess, and it highlights it. It looks like vines growing inside of him. And if you look down, like these blooms that are all over the place, it looks like the vines that kind of connect the masses of these flowers.
The energy is coming from the disc, the ground.
Yeah.
Are you part of the Red Company?
He looks like a native of this area, but you asked that. It's like I don't know that word.
What word do you not want to know?
Company.
Right, okay.
I don't know what that means.
Were you bought with shiny gold sun discs to be
Yes.
sacrificed? Right, oh, okay. To be sacrificed?
Well,
Well, I guess you were, so it doesn't matter.
so as you guys are saying this or talking, it's been a little bit of time, and that giant curved piece of obsidian comes out of the way so that the sun kind of shines through, and so the sun hits the flat obsidian side of this island that you're on. And so the landscape where you are on now kind of looks like twilight. It does lighten up a little bit, but as it does, all of these flowers, all of these blooms, the berries burst. It's almost like somebody did a glitter bomb, right? And all this glitter is going down to the landmasses below, being carried by the light.
We need to stop this. This is what's affecting the place below.
But, so it's these... So we need to destroy all the vegetation here.
I would still start with whatever's in the center of it, unless you want
Yeah.
to. You can try and throw a torch
But
and see if
that's
it
what's
sets
doing
anything
it.
afire.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. We have a plan. We know what to kill now.
But we can try.
Okay. Oh, here's a question: who killed you, person?
Oh, the servants of Asatadal. They purchased me from my village.
Okay. You're okay with that? I guess you are. It must be. You're remarkably calm. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
I'm not so happy about it now, but at the time it seemed like the thing to do.
Well, I'm sorry if you turn into a plant and then produce food and explode and go back down to the land below. Thanks. Bye.
Let's,
I've got
yeah.
nothing else to say to him. I'm like,
He's not dead, so I can't.
probably changed his essence from one thing to another. Magical things or godly things. I don't know, one or the other.
Things. Darby, yes.
Yeah, we must get rid of the plants, the fruits.
You
Yeah,
can try.
that's
You can try chucking a torch over there and seeing if it
Yeah.
sets anything on fire. But otherwise, I suspect that Center Spire is the place we need to go to deal with this.
I mean, all the berries have just burst, right?
Yeah.
Of that bit, at least, that we've seen. So, I suppose they might regrow.
yeah. So, let's continue.
All right, yeah. You guys go through the forest of these things. Again, the berries are bursting around you and kind of it just turning into this glitter that's being pulled by the light down to all the lands below as they circle the sun. Kind of blanketing not everything, like certain, looks like certain islands seem to be under more than others, are getting more of it. As you start heading towards the middle, everybody make me con checks.
Oh,
Oh, crit!
failed.
All right. Darby and Radnar, both of you guys start, you're feeling much more tired than you expect you should. Like, you haven't been marching for that long, but you both feel a bit more tired than you should. You also notice that there's a fair amount of this glittery dust that's just adhered to your legs and your torso, just kind of coming up from your feet as you're walking through all these flowers. System-wise, you guys are going to be a -1 for any physical actions for a bit. Right? So with the land being, it's not, the sun isn't penetrating enough for this area to be lit up. It's just, again, it's more like twilight. And you're getting a better look at what is in the middle of this disc on this side of it. And it seems to be another pyramid. This one all in obsidian stone, very high, reaching into the sky.
Okay. I just realised we're still in the maps.
Is it lit? Yeah,
Barely.
The sky is lit.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's twilight, right? There's just a little bit of light. It's not like full day. It's not nighttime. It's like that in between.
Okay, so by twilight you mean the time of day, not sparkly vampires.
Well, that too. But you're the sparkly vampires.
Okay.
And the light, did it change since we've been walking?
No. After the obsidian, shield moved out of the way so that the sun came down on the disc, it's been the same since that's happened. Hasn't really changed. Figure it's going to be like this for whatever counts as a day and a night cycle.
Okay.
Yep, keep at it.
Yeah, almost.
Yes, so.
Yep,
Yeah.
Radnar and Darby are both. By the time you reach the base of the pyramid, you two are just exhausted, like you've ran a marathon. It's hard to breathe. You need to stop and catch a rest.
Here.
The only thing that you've seen moving, other than the plants and the bugs, you haven't seen any more of the spirits. You left the other one back there. It didn't follow you. You want to take a break here?
I mean, I
You guys
feel like
need a
I
rest?
need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you thinking like a short rest or a long rest?
I would be hesitant. I mean, I need a long rest, but I'd be hesitant to do that here. You
Very
know,
much so.
I think we could probably
Oh,
take
you
a
can
short
we can
rest.
take a short rest to get another D6 back if you've got level. Yeah, because you can do that
Yeah.
many times
Yep.
level. So get another a hit dice worth of points back.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
And when you do that, go ahead and make me con rolls again.
All of us? Or
Just the two that
people
were
who-
affected, Radnar and Darby.
Cool.
I'll do that anyway because I could do some more hit points back.
Success.
All right. You feel a little bit better after stopping and resting. Same with you, Radnar.
Yay!
Yeah.
Do I get hit points?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your
So
hit
roll
die,
your-
and that's how
roll
much you
your
get back.
dice. Woo!
Nice.
Oh, wow.
All right. So you guys are at the base of
And
this.
spend a re-roll to re-roll the hit dice. if
You
like.
can re-roll any die. So yeah, any of your die.
Yeah. So if you want to take a re-roll, you can re-roll that D8
Okay.
to actually get not minimum.
I'll reroll.
That's
Oh.
worth it.
Here you go.
That was worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this pyramid seems to go like 200 feet. Like it's steep, goes up into the sky. It's got that smooth black obsidian exterior, and the top of the pyramid is cut off. So like there looks like there's a plateau at the very top of this thing.
Is there? I mean, can we can't see? Can we see an entrance? Is there a way to get
Yeah,
into this
if you
thing?
want to walk around the base and see if you can find an entrance, just roll me a
Or
d6.
stairs, one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why don't we? Anybody want to come with me while I take a look?
Yeah, no, I'll go with.
All right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I don't see anything.
What am I rolling? A D6?
A d6.
Yep. You want a 1.
Yeah, I mean, as far as you can tell, it's perfectly smooth. There doesn't seem to be any kind of door or impression, like lines where a door would be. It's perfectly smooth.
I rolled a 1. Oh no, I rolled a 3. I rolled 3 times.
I'm with a D20 for some reason.
Really.
See, this is where you get a C to climb sheer surfaces. Because, yeah, the gravity's back normal, so we can't just leap and bound up there.
I mean, there must be some way up there. If somebody's
One thing I wanted to try and do, because I'm always for trying stupid things, get my Hawk Shield, press it against the surface of the pyramid. See if that does anything.
It badly scratches it up. Not your shield, but the pyramid.
Who's got a... No one's got a weapon, no, your medallion. So I'm just sort of thinking, you could at least, use it to gouge out steps going out and
Well,
holes.
Is it scratched up enough that we could do that?
Yeah, the pyramid isn't like a very like it slopes, but it's a fairly gradual slope. Like you could just try and climb it.
Oh, well, in that case, I can
Roughing
try
it
and
up
climb
might make it easier, though.
Okay, I'm going to try and climb it, and if I'm sort of in trouble...
Follow behind Galen, but not close enough that if he slips and falls, he takes us all out along
Yep.
the way.
Oh, I'll be ready for you.
I've got the impression that the writer didn't say it, but it's supposed to be like an Aztec style stepped pyramid because
well,
they
they've got
don't
steps,
they don't
though.
give any difficulty to climbing it. They say that it's just an annoyance for living characters.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well, in that case, we'll just kill ourselves and there won't be a problem. Yeah. All right, yeah, well, we climb up.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no one at this point is feeling like they're they're drained or anything. You've just rested everyone well. When you get to the top edge of the pyramid, actually it is open. It's a hollow pyramid, and there is a descending staircase going
Hello.
down on the inside. But even from here, looking down inside, you see a gigantic figure that the lower part of its body looks like it's rooted into the ground. More of these black tendrils that look like what the flower's base are. And the thing stands like 15 feet tall. Features look vaguely goblinoid, but changed and certainly much, much larger. And as you're looking down, everybody give me d6 rolls.
I notice.
Anybody that has heat vision,
Ooh. Yep,
you'll count. You
Roll
can
the
do
one.
3 and 6.
I'm good.
Nah.
Darby's good. Okay, the non-human see things.
Okay. There's several shadows that are stationed along the inside of the stairways. Further down, they're not like anything really close to you up here. They seem to have like the outline and form of a monkey, but there's no substance to them. They look like shadows. They do, for those of you that have heat vision, they do actually radiate a heat.
I see beings on the stairway.
Yeah, like monkeys.
Hmm.
When we get to, how far down is it, do we think?
Same as it was going up, so about 200 feet.
Oh, all right. No, we probably don't
Forward?
have 200 foot of rope.
No. A good idea. It's a valid idea.
The creature. What's it doing?
The creature
the-
that's
yeah.
rooted to the ground seems to just be standing there. You do hear kind of words like it's talking to itself or muttering to itself, but you really can't make out what it's saying.
All right, shadowy creatures down there who are doing horrible things to us. I have a continual amulet of light. I'm not afraid of you. Is anybody else afraid of them? Or are they all ready to
Little?
walk down the stairs?
I'm not going to walk down anyway, but I'm going to do both.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Eh.
too.
So you guys are just going to go down by the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't think of
Yeah.
another way to get down at this point.
Okay,
I'll
unfortunately.
probably be going forward because I'll have the shield out, hawk shield out.
The steps are only wide enough for one person to go down at a time. So who's in the front and who's in the rear?
I'll be in front because I'll have the hawk shield and stuff.
All right. Well, as you go down, roll initiative. Is anybody spell casting?
What is the name of the guy that was in the temple? The good one,
Oxytotl.
Oxycotl. I'll be offering up prayers to my goddess and also to Oxycotl as well.
Your goddess smites you. She is a jealous god.
Hey, she's not going to complain about the god that we had to follow down and blimmin' drenched Dracula. I don't notice she's going to worry about this one too much. All right, yeah, someone's rolling d6. Did someone roll that for initiative?
Yep. So did someone roll?
No one.
Yeah, Galen.
You're at the front.
Yeah.
You roll.
Yeah, you roll.
All
There
right.
we go.
Pull a fig jam.
Okay, so again, the stair is only large enough for one at a time. So one of the shadow monkeys rushes you. What is your armor class?
Fireball.
Is he obsidian?
No,
Then it's a 2.
it misses. They seem to be lining up to intercept you or to slow you down, perhaps. You're a little closer now. I'm going to say you got down like one revolution of the stair before they actually came up to present a problem. And so all of you can hear the enormous figure in the center is, you can hear it's talking. You heroes, all alike. No breadth to your thought. This mirror will destroy the world. We've got to stop it. It mocks.
Hey,
That's pretty much it. Yep, that's it. Yep.
hey, we're no heroes.
I
Sorry,
dare
did you
say
say
it
they
will
were
make
all in the
no
line?
difference to you, but I'll tell you this. This mirror does not destroy the world. It does not corrupt it. It only brings out what is present to begin with in people. In you humans and the rest, the urge to exploit, to fight, to destroy your hollow world's most vaunted spell of preservation. That is the unnatural artifact, not this. Here is the mirror's greatest artistry. It reflects without distortion. Think now on what you would try and destroy.
blah, blah, blah. They're
Uh,
all
it's
on the
your-
line, right?
It's your turn. Yeah, it's your turn. So, however, whoever wants to take an action, go ahead.
You know, I've got a scroll of lightning bolt.
Sounds good. Go for it.
All right,
If you
lightning
want it.
bolt. I'm gonna move out and just extend my hand and read the scroll of lightning bolt. Cast it down.
Sure, go for it.
All right, let's. Oh, where's that? Okay. Well, I assume that's probably 6d6.
Yep. And did they get
What are
a
you
save
casting
for
it at? Are you
half?
casting at the big guy or at the shadows or what?
Yeah, what are you casting it at specifically?
Well, haven't all these monkeys like lined up in a line?
Yeah.
Then that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Go for it.
Boom. All right. So I'm gonna do 6d6 here.
Nice 1d6 by level. Per level.
It'd be 70, 16.
Okay.
Well-
He's east level 7.
Right, but doesn't it depend on the level of the scroll, not on the level of the castle?
Oh.
So you
I
can't be
don't know,
bothered keeping
but-
track.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Here we go.
Meow.
All right, not bad. Did they get a save? Sorry, Bill. Does the spell say they get a save?
I've got scrolls, so I'm not sure. Let me
All right,
see.
here, I can look it up.
Have a quick look to see if I can find what. Do you know what level it is?
Lightning bolt. All right.
Hot reading, rule reading action. You'll have this, aren't you?
Don't think so. Yeah. Successful save versus spells indicating half
The
damage.
damage. Okay, so here we go. You can get about 15 of them in a line. Oh, there's a lot of saves in there. It doesn't really matter though. You're doing enough damage that even half is going to kill them all. So like you just fry these shadows just in a straight line. They just disintegrate. You're not sure if it's actually the lightning or the light itself that causes them to disperse.
I've wanted to use that scroll for a while.
Nice.
I mean, maybe
Just do
the
different
idea to
spell.
the point we come down here and, kill a bunch of stuff, but we're good at it. So,
If the lightning bolt hits a solid barrier before its full length is reached, it is reflected and travels to any remaining distance.
Right, well,
Okay.
let's find out whether it
That
is
sounds
indeed
fun.
the light or the lightning that did the damage there.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my amulet of continuous light and shine it on one of the remaining monkey things.
Sure. It causes the shape to kind of seek cover, but it doesn't seem to harm it any more than it just doesn't like light.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
There we go.
But you guys are pretty much unmolested all the way down to the base, where again this towering 15-foot creature, looking like from the legs up to his waist, is part of that mass of flowers out there. Just all those tendrils and vines seem to kind of coalesce here.
Shall we go right at the bottom? We're facing him. Question mark?
Yeah.
Are
So
you?
yeah. What do you want to do?
We're at the bottom now?
You're at the
We're just
bottom.
facing him? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There's the monkeys are still about, but with your
Okay.
light amulets about, they don't seem to like the light.
Okay, you ready for a really stupid play? Because I'm going to do a really stupid play.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go.
In the name of Oxycotl, I come forward and I embrace you and forgive you and am compassionate to you. And
okay.
if it's reflecting what we've got out, then I'm going to try this. And I'm going to say, fine,
go
I'm
ahead.
a
Well,
creature of peace and religion.
Make me a charisma check, actually.
I might take 4 rolls to
Let's see what you get first of all.
yeah.
You
so
want
I
to just
might
take the
some-
4?
All right.
Yeah, I'll take the 4.
Okay. He gives pause for a moment, and he kind of looks down at you, and you can again, you get the idea that something is this is not its natural form. It's been transformed into this. It has the facial features and a little bit left of it to think this used to be a goblin. You think?
Remember, we never actually fully said what it was, but I have that aspect that for the like I'm pro demi-human. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to help
yep.
all the
So he looks down with you, and I mean, like his eyes water for a moment, and he looks at you and says, "Ah, if only that had meaning. If all of the gods haven't left us here."
so that Galen believes. He believes in helping the demi-humans.
Yep.
It should bloody have meaning. He's a priest in it, you know. Yeah.
I mean, you seem to have reached him a little bit. He's not babbling to himself anymore. I mean, like he's actually kind of focused on you now.
Is he stuck in the ground?
He's rooted to the ground.
He's rooted to the ground. Okay. Well, maybe with the obsidian disc, we can cut him and free him.
Okay. You start hacking away at the obsidian disc. With the obsidian disc, and yeah, it flays the roots, but I mean, as soon as you cut one, more just kind of wrap around and regrow just as quickly. You do give me a d6 roll.
The 2.
As you're flailing around with the edge of this disc, you happen to catch it again. Here, it seems to act as a mirror. And as you're doing this, you catch an image of this gigantic 15-foot creature, and it is a little goblin. Like in the vision that you see in the mirror, it's a little goblin. It's all wrapped up in all of these vines. It looks scared. It looks frightened.
Oh. Maybe it's not real. I'll look
Just
more
believe
closely.
the illusion?
Yeah. I'll show this to the magic users. Hey, Radnar, Fig Jam, look at this.
Oh, I've got to do something cool here just because. So Fig Jam, Radnar, you take a look at it. Fig Jam, I mean, you just see yourself in it. If you angle it and you look at the creature in the mirror, you see the same thing. That just is this goblin that's in the center mass of all of these vines. It seems like it's both killing him and healing him at the same time. It's doing something that's hurting him. It's hurting his mind. But Radnar, yeah, you catch your image in there, and yeah, this just for a minute there. What you see is that flaming skull again.
Ah,
An angry flaming skull, having just taken a bite out of Darby's arm.
you know, it's not an entirely unpleasant memory.
Things were simpler then.
Yeah, flying is nice. I enjoy that.
Yep.
I think
We
I
would have
had
to
a
wear
little
this.
better dexterity back then too.
Yeah.
Before I do anything, I want to give you guys a go. Otherwise, I'm just feeling
Yeah,
like
I was
I'm
gonna- if we know where, if we can see where this, the real goblin is, for want of a better term, there, can we cast spells on it?
Won't know till
I'm
you
gonna
try.
attempt to cast a spell. I'm going to attempt to cast Continual Light on it because it is one of the few spells I have left, and I think perhaps,
Sure.
might help him to be able to see his way out of it.
Okay.
Maybe.
So using the mirror as like your target,
Yeah.
you cast Continual Light, which halos the little goblin inside. It doesn't seem to hurt him though. I mean, it's very bright in this chamber now with the Continual Light. Well, I mean, Continual Light is as bright as a torch, right?
Let me.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daylight.
So the monkeys that you now see that were climbing about his form, they all scatter into the shadows. And you guys can kind of see that goblin kind of haloed in there. It doesn't seem to be hurting or affecting him though.
And it doesn't do anything to the
Vines.
The vines,
that are
no.
binding him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
look like they're it's not susceptible to the light.
Okay. Do we actually recognise this as one of the goblins from one of our world, or is it?
You
It's
haven't
like-
seen
it's
any
some kind of
goblin folk down here since you came. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it sure looks like one of the goblins from up top.
Fig Jam.
Hmm?
Do you mind if I covet your medallion? Actually, what's your name? Goblin.
You okay? Kano.
I'm just listening to Mortal Kombat right now.
Kano of the
Yeah,
Crimson Company. Those were good days.
Spelled with a K. Crimson with a K. Oh yeah,
Crimson
yeah.
Company.
Can I borrow your medallion, Fig Jam?
The one we got from the thing. Yeah, sure. I got to take it.
Yep. I take it. I'm gonna try and put it on because I know it's just a little goblin now, so it should be really fine. I'll try and put the medallion on the goblin.
I mean, he's deep inside of all these roots and everything, though. So as you come kind of in closer, you don't know if it's a willed thing or not, but some of the vines start to entwine around your hands. Make me a dex check to keep from being kind of pulled in there.
Checks.
Yep.
All right, now you pull away before you're wrapped up, but it seems like the vines that are enrobing this goblin have kind of a mind of its own, or maybe he's controlling it. It's hard to tell. Darby, you're continuing to saw away with the mirror, and I mean, it's cutting through just fine, but they just kind of grow back very quickly.
Stop.
All right.
Okay, I've got another play, but I'll let others go first.
Got anything to do there, Radnor? You're the only one who hasn't acted. This
Darby, Radnar,
round,
you guys
so
got
to
anything?
So this guy is from. This guy is from the Crimson Company or whatever.
From we think up top from our world.
So he hasn't been here that long.
Right.
What is time?
Yeah, we don't know that they're flowing at the same rate.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have a potion of petrification. Hey, take this.
Do it, man. Do it.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll hand the goblin a potion of petrification.
Right, so you can't really interact with the goblin because it's encased in like these vines. It's the giant head that kind of looks goblin-y is formed from these vines. Like it's in the middle of all of this.
Okay.
What a fireball would do.
Are you guys doing anything directly?
Gonna
Oh,
fireball it out, Radnar? I mean, it is just a giant weed, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I fireball it?
Might have to, but there might be other things you can do first.
That's what I'm. That's my hesitation. Is I don't. If we can.
Well, maybe if we climb and go to the head. We'll
The
see
vines will try and
something
capture you.
more.
The vines will try to catch. I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying the vines will try to capture you as you get close.
I'll try it.
All right. So you want to climb up to the goblin's body is inside?
Yeah.
All right. Make me a dex check.
Success.
I mean, some of the vines wrap around you, but you're able to kick them off, and you climb and climb. So, like, you get to, center of the torso or so, where you saw in your mirror that the goblin is kind of all contained, but the giant head above it, that's kind of formed with all this vegetation, kind of looks down at you, and you can kind of see the goblin inside, kind of looking down at you as well.
Am I? Can I reach it? Can I reach its mouth with the potion?
You want to try and throw the potion into its mouth?
Yeah.
Into the giant head, or try to get it into the body of this goblin?
Yeah, I'd prefer to touch the goblin, but
All right. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Make me a con check. Or actually a strength check. Make it a strength check as you're just kind of trying to wedge this open enough to get that potion down inside there.
oh, it's a failure.
Okay. So that does not mean you fail. It just means it's going to take some time. So Darby's climbed this thing, and it looks like he's trying to muscle open the middle area where this little goblin's form was that the mirror showed. What are you guys doing? The shadow monkeys seem to be more active. They seem to be kind of taking places around you in the dark, the edges that are still dark.
Do your stupid thing, Gale.
That was pretty much along the lines of what Darby was going to do. So I'm now seeing how well Darby's doing it. So this wasn't really something.
All right. Yeah, so Darby just climbed right up in there. Radnar, what do you want to do? I mean, Darby's climbed on the thing now, so fireball might
Fireball's
be.
pretty much out.
Yeah.
And everybody else has climbed up.
Nope, just Darby.
It's latched onto him, but is that where the essence of the vines are?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I ought to wait and see if something happens with him, because if he needs help, then
Okay, you're just kind of
So
standing
I
by.
want to sort of just have a quick look around, see if I can see where, like, because you got the creature fund, you got the goblin there, but what is the source of the thing that's latched onto the goblin?
It's like he's rooted. The lower part is rooted into the ground, so it's all just coming up out of the ground. All these twisted roots
Yeah.
and gnarled roots.
But where did that mass, where did all that come from?
No idea. It's just coming out of the ground here.
Yeah, that's why I just want to look around and see if I can work out if there's a source for that.
As far as you can tell, the source is like it's sprouting out of the ground, literally. You don't see anything else around other than how that is. I mean, the trunks go all the way to the edge of the pyramid, and you likely it keeps going, and it's connected to all those flowers out there because the fibrous roots all seem the same. It's just these are much larger and stronger, kind of like going from a large mass out to smaller fingers that are tinier, thinner.
Okay, I'm going to try and climb up and help Darby to get to. I'm not planning on doing the potion. I'm trying to for different. There is something else I want to do, but the first thing is to try and get to the goblin.
Sure. Dex check to avoid getting caught up in any of the vines.
It's easy. It's easy.
Oh.
Yeah, he did it fine. He's a stumpy little dwarf. Not so for the agile elf, however. All right. So a failure just means that you're going to be slowed as you're basically the roots are starting to wrap around your legs and just to pull you down.
It's not a failure per se, though.
Up to you. They're not really doing you harm. They're just slowing you down.
Oh yeah, I'll take it for now.
Okay. Fig Jam, you doing anything?
I'm going to look at the monkeys that are around there. I'm trying to work out whether they are like previous sacrificed people who have been turned into these monkeys.
Okay.
Not sure what else.
Let me d6 to roll.
I have rolled a 5.
As far as you can tell, they're like two-dimensional. They're literally shadows of monkeys. Like there doesn't seem to be any form or substance to them other than just shadows.
All right. Okay. Then I got
All right.
nothing else.
Well, we're at time, so unless somebody has something brilliant they want to do, we'll go ahead and call it here, and then we'll pick up next episode with how you're gonna.
Depends. Is there something brilliant we can do that's just going to solve this, or is this a sort of thing that's take a lot longer? Because I've got ideas, but I don't know if they're going to be brilliant to solve anything.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. So if you guys
I pick up
stumble
a seed,
upon it.
throw them into the middle of the vines to give the goblin a chance to escape.
I'll tell you one idea that Galen is having right now is to try and just sort of directly reach the goblin and sort of help him, or failing that, take his place and try and be a better person than the goblin is, trying to be a better conduit of compassion and stuff.
Yeah, all right.
But
well,
yeah, that's not going to take.
Yep,
6 seconds to do.
things to think about for next time.
Oh, we're not going to think about things,
yeah.
Bert. Don't be silly. We
Yeah.
can forget all about this game until 5 minutes beforehand.
That's just how it goes. All right, Jameis. Anything you want to plug there?
I've got an unworking command from Nightbot.
Yes, apparently so.
I've got my blog, and I've just put up pictures of my trip to Taupo.
Oh,
I had a bit of a holiday, so I went to a few things around Taupo, and so now I have pictures up there.
cool. If you want, you can put your link in there. It allows links now. Richard.
Well, linking this back to earlier, whatever you do, give 100%. Unless you're donating blood. Do not give 100% then. If you want to see me give less than 100%, why not come and watch me play video games over at LMTDTMFFR on Twitch. Or, say it with me now, limited time offer.
offer.
No vows.
No vows.
Vowels.
Indeed.
Oh, it's too
Jeff, you got anything there?
Yeah, nothing much to plug, but I'm always happy to join you for a game.
Bill, what you got going on with the frogs?
Just running regular organized play games. I've got a campaign that's kind of wrapping up, running the Tunnels of Terror for the 5e system on Sunday nights, and on Wednesday nights, starting back up this coming Wednesday, will be the Lost City of Baracus campaign for Swords and Wizardry.
Cool. And if
that's
you found this site,
nice.
you know where we are. Twitch.tv/SteamStillMurder, and check out the podcast at BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. Yay! All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Good night.